Since we found out, anything could happen, anything could happen, anything could happen, anything could
Hey everyone! So, as you can probably tell, I'm back at my parents' house and this is going to be the first video of my 30 Days to College series. So it doesn't mean that I'm going to be posting a video every single day. It's kind of like Vlogmas where I post a video on one day and then I skip a day and then post it again. And I apologize for the lighting and any noise. It's just that this is the only place in my house that I can film right now. So let's just get right into it. So today's video is going to be about registering for classes. So first of all, I want to say that in my school, we didn't get to actually choose. I mean, we got to choose our electives, but they already had our core courses set out and we didn't get to choose a schedule. So all we did was we had our core classes and we had 3 core classes, and out of that we had to choose options for electives. So we had first option, second option, and they will make the schedule for us and we get it a little bit before class. So we can still do some changes, but they just do it all for us, so I didn't have to think that much. But I do have some tips because I honestly thought that my registration would be like any other college, which it ended up not being but I got prepared to it as if it was. So my first tip is register as soon as it opens, and that's something that I did because I was scared for my electives because it was on a first come first served base. So I registered for my classes literally the day they opened for registration because we didn't have a set time to register for it, and excuse me, my phone is being really weird. But we didn't have an exact time to register for it, so they just opened it for everyone, and when they did, I was just the first person to register. I suggest you do that because especially if you're registering for fun classes and electives or even your core classes, you want to get the best schedule possible. Another thing is take as many core requirements as possible. So all the classes that you have to take that are core requirements, not for your major but for your school as a whole, try to take them first semester, because after that you can focus on your major. More and more you're going to want to focus on what you're going to be working with in the future and less on stuff that you're never going to use again or that's not that important. So just get the core classes out of the way, and that also kind of makes sure that you won't a semester before you graduate, you'll be missing 1 or 2 core classes. So the third thing that I want to say is don't take too many credits. And I think that's a mistake that most people make is it's their freshman year and they're I want to take all these courses and just get it out of the way so I don't have to take them later. Truth is, just take as much as you think you can handle. Most colleges, at least for my college, the minimum requirement was 12 and the maximum was 18. But I would say don't go all the way to 18. Stick to max 16, because between 14 and 16, because you want to enjoy college. And I know for a fact that none of us are actually prepared for what college is. It's just completely new and it's something that you have to get used to. And I think that you're kind of adapting during your first semester. So I would say don't take too many classes, because then you're going to be stuck studying for all of them so you can pass them, and you're going to be miserable because you don't get to actually enjoy other stuff in college, or you're not going to have time to study for them because you're trying to do everything, and then you're going to fail classes. Because I had a lot of friends that went into their first year and they failed 4 or 5 classes that year because they tried to take way too much. Another thing is when you're preparing schedules, for example, my registration opened a certain day, but I already had like access to class times and class professors and what classes I actually had to take a month before. So I prepared around like 5 schedules of what I would want my days to look like, because I mainly like morning classes, and I prepared like, oh, I can take this elective now and take this core class now, and tried to make like different schedules that would work for me. So when it came to registering, if I couldn't get that class that worked with the first schedule, I could get the class only with the second schedule, and then I work out the second schedule, or then the third schedule. So I had a lot of options. Other than that is also research professors, because sometimes you have the same class with different professors, and honestly, some people get along with with a certain type of professor, and some people get along with another type of professor, and they all have their different teaching styles. So I would say definitely research professors, because that can make or break a course. Because if you just hate your professor, it's so hard for you to actually do well in that course. Other than like if you really like your professor and you get along with it, you understand the way that he teaches stuff, then I think you will like have an easier life, I want to say. And also there are a bunch of sites that rate professors, and you can ask people, you can just look it up, Google it, like Google your professor name, see where he graduated and all that stuff, and just figure that out, because I think it really makes a huge difference. The last thing I want to say is contact your advisor. I, for one, like when I opened my registration thing, when like it first opened, I went with all my schedules and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this and that, and then I opened it and I was like, okay, what the hell is this? Why can I not choose anything? Are they making the schedule for me? And I was just so confused. Like I did not know what was going on. And I was like, I need help. Because now I'm, like at first when I was making the schedule, I was already confused about my core classes. So I did email my advisor, and she was like, you need to take these, and these classes. I was like, okay, good. Because I couldn't find them anywhere. And I also plan on like minoring in something. So I was like, okay, if I want to do this as a minor, what classes do I have to take already? And then she's like, oh, don't worry, you can only declare, and she like explained it to me, and I was like, okay, good. But she didn't mention anything about the way that registering for classes was different for us. So when I opened it, I was like so in shock, and like I sent my advisor an email, and I was like, please help, what is going on? So like I registered step by step, like it said on the website, and I just like saved it. I didn't submit it. Then when I got it back from her, I submitted everything. So your advisor is your friend. Any doubts that you have according to classes, or even if you're like, you don't know if you want to take this class or that class, they will help you out as to what you should do, because that's what they're there for. They're kind of to be like guiding you throughout your career, like pre-career path. So that is it for my 30 Days to College video today, and I hope you guys like the idea of these series. Leave me suggestions that you would like to see in this series below, because I do have some videos planned out. Some of them are actual vlogs, some of them are just sit down and advice. So just leave some suggestions below so I can actually do stuff that you guys are interested in and that will actually help you. So I'll see you guys in my next video.